There are hundreds of food spots in New York City, and in this video I am sharing the top eateries that I would seriously recommend visiting. I'm covering everything from bagels to coffee, from tacos to pizza, and at the end of the video I'll share a few other places that I've heard really great things about but just didn't have the chance to visit. For those of you that are new here, my name's Emily.roz and I'm a recipe developer and cookbook author and general food lover. So without further ado, let's get into the video. In the past couple of decades, New York has become a hub for specialty coffee. Independent roasters and artisanal coffee shops have set up shop in the city, elevating the quality of coffee and really kind of pushing the boundaries of what is possible with the bean. So my favorite coffee shop whilst we were in New York was a place called Devotion. It's known for sourcing some of the highest quality beans in New York City. And what I love most about them is that they source the coffee beans directly from Colombian producers. And also I know that, I feel like a lot of coffee shops do this, but one of the things they take pride in is that they source their coffee beans from like sustainable farms and all of the kind of ethical stuff that I feel is just really important when it comes to the coffee industry. And another thing that I think results in them having such delicious coffee is that they basically follow this kind of farm to cup theory or method, whereby they import their beans directly from Colombia and then roast the beans there and then in the coffee shop, which is pretty rare in the industry, to be honest. And because of this, it leads to a flavor profile that is incredibly rich, really smooth, and just simply delicious. And also their kind of flagship store in Williamsburg is just beautiful. It's got like these gorgeous window glass ceilings and it's a very, very cool vibe. The second coffee shop that I really think that you should check out is Stumptown Coffee. Both Devotion and Stumptown were voted two of the best coffee places in New York. The difference, Stumptown Coffee, is that they actually have coffee beans from all parts of the world. So Ethiopia, Colombia, Peru, Nicaragua. So it's not just Colombia, which is obviously Devotion. And then the other thing is that Stumptown has way more shops. So I think in the whole of the US they've got like over 400 shops, whereas Devotion only has like a handful. So Stumptown was absolutely delicious once again. A little bit more expensive, delicious nonetheless. Okay, we all know this. You cannot go to New York City without having a bagel. Now, whilst we were in New York, we visited a lot of museums and it was just really fascinating to kind of learn more about like New York's history and stuff. So basically with bagels, Eastern European Jewish immigrants moved over to New York and essentially brought bagels to the city in the late 19th century, early 20th century. They are the reason for bagels in New York. But another thing that a local told us was that basically they think that there's something with New York water where the pH levels or something about like the hardness of the water or the softness of the water makes the dough just extra special, because we also heard that about pizza as well. So maybe it's something special with the water. Anyway, if any of you know anything more about the water situation, leave a message in the comments below because I'm very intrigued. But in terms of spots, so one of the places that I absolutely loved is this place called Bagel Market in Hell's Kitchen. They have various different spots around New York, but Hell's Kitchen I think is the most beautiful in terms of like its actual shop. And I have to say it was absolutely fantastic. They packed oodles of schmear, which is the cream cheese, inside of the bagel. Like there's so much cream cheese and the bagels were soft and chewy, just absolutely phenomenal. But on top of that, the Hell's Kitchen branch was just gorgeous, like especially for a morning coffee bagel place. You basically have, so it's southeast facing, and the southeast facing part of the building is all window, like floor to ceiling windows. So you get that morning sun. So like when you go there for breakfast, you're just like, the sun is pouring in and it's just like on your face and you just get this warmth, even in like the crispiness of winter. It's just lovely. It was such a peaceful place with pretty short queues. So yeah, I'd absolutely recommend. The second place for bagels, I just want to say that I am sharing bagel places that one, have delicious food, but two, aren't the classic kind of TikTok places. Like, because I'll be real with you, we went to a few of the TikTok places and the queues were ridiculous. Like I'm talking, you're waiting half an hour, 45 minutes for a bagel. And when you're kind of traveling around New York, if you're only there for 3 days, like you just don't have time for that. So I feel like this place called La Bagel Delight is another really great place where you can go. Queues aren't that long, but the bagel is delicious and it's gonna be guaranteed fantastic. We had the pastrami bagel with cheese, which was deliciously oozy and really well seasoned pastrami. Bagel was lovely, soft, chewy, fluffy. And then we also got a cream cheese bagel, which was also delicious. Okay, now I've got 5 incredible street food spots that you have to try. First up is Joe's Steamed Rice Roll. They have various spots around the city, so you can kind of just look on Google Maps and see which one's closest to you. But basically, if you love Cantonese food or kind of Asian flavors in general, then you have to go. We ordered the pork steamed roll with corn and bean sprouts with chili oil and soy sauce, and it was hands down one of the best things I've ever tasted. You have this light, bouncy steamed rice roll that's then just like stuffed with kind of juicy pork, crunchy bean sprouts. Just like everything works so gorgeously. Okay, 7th Street Burger. This is quite a popular smash burger joint. Once again, they have various different spots around the city, but you know, it's just great. They're made with fresh beef patties. You got American cheese, you got pickles, you've got grilled onions. Honestly, just delicious. Fries were also crispy on the outside and soft and fluffy on the inside. Oh, I'd also recommend getting their house sauce. It's kind of like semi-spicy, burgery sauce. It's just chef's kiss. Okay, so I'd seen the hype around Los Tacos #1 or Número Uno, and it lived up to the hype, and you have to give it a go. If you like tacos, or even if you've never had tacos before, it's a fantastic place. I would highly recommend. The menu features a selection of tacos and tostadas with options like carne asada, which is like grilled steak, and pollo asada, which is the chicken. And then each item is then served on top of like a corn or flour tortilla. So as well as getting the tacos, we also ordered a mulas, which is basically like a tortilla and then filling of a taco, I guess, and then another tortilla on top, and like you just basically have this like taco sandwich, and it's so phenomenal. So yes, I really definitely put that on your list. Okay, next up, Donut Plant. Taste anything from Donut Plant and I guarantee you will be hooked. It's firstly where the square donut was born. Never had a square donut before. Absolutely fantastic. So what you got to try, in my personal opinion, you want to try their peanut butter jelly donut, their creme brulee donut, and then their classic kind of glazed donut. Okay, so there are dozens of pizza places in New York, and we went to a handful of spots, in this one place called Coronet Pizza. It was incredible. It's in Upper East Side, so I recommend kind of walking through Central Park, having like a cute little morning, and then going to Coronet Pizza for lunch. They've got 2 joints. I believe they're like on the same road, but they're kind of one's further up and then one's further south. All you need to get is a $6 jumbo margarita pizza. So cheesy, so ooey, gooey, oily, simply phenomenal. Also, once again, no queues, or like barely any queues. And in my personal opinion, it was 10 times better than Joe's Pizza. I'm sorry. And Joe's Pizza had such a big queue. Like, oh my God, ridiculous. And their pizza slices weren't even that big. Like, they're not, you know, I don't know. It's still a good place if you want to get pizza, but like, Coronet Pizza. Okay, on to restaurants. Now, I must admit, we didn't go to as many restaurants. We were much more interested in kind of going to like local eateries and kind of street foodie spots. But the restaurants that we did go to, I have 3 that when I return to New York, I will be running to go back there. First up is Uncle Lou's. It's a family-run restaurant, which I absolutely love, and it just ticks all the boxes. The atmosphere is brilliant, the service was really cute and fantastic. The food was just incredible, really. I'd highly recommend getting the General Tso's chicken, the Kung Pao chicken, and the chicken in Shuyan garlic sauce was really nice. And then the sweet and sour crispy pork, also really good. If you're looking for kind of more veggie stuff there, baby bok choy with garlic sauce was really nice as well. It's a very simple pricing arrangement, or like the big plates, the $20, but like the plates are massive. They're like this big. Like you could share a plate between kind of 1 to 3 people, depending on how hungry you are. So yeah, highly recommend. Just brilliant. Next up is a place called Momo Ramen. It's a kind of mixture between Japanese, Chinese, and Korean cuisine. So good. But I would highly recommend getting the spicy Momo Ramen. You've got Momo dumplings, homemade Momo dumplings, a really rich umami broth, and then the noodles are so bouncy and just some of the best noodles I've ever had. Honestly, incredible. Kimchi was also super zingy, really good. The best kimchi I've ever had, especially at a restaurant. We didn't actually know this before we went there, but it's voted Brooklyn's best ramen spot. So the Italian space in New York is obviously massive, and we went to a few Italian restaurants, and a lot of them were just quite tourist trappy. So expensive, the pasta really wasn't that great, and just like the whole experience was just a bit meh. But there's one place that we found called Forma Pasta Factory. One of the most amazing experiences I've had in terms of like really lovely kind of chilled out atmospheric restaurant experience. They manufacture the pasta or make the pasta every day on site. You go in and you just kind of witness the staff like making pappardelle, fettuccine, orecchiette, I don't know how to pronounce it. And the food was just simply fantastic. They have a really simple and delicious menu, and every day they have a different special. And like the staff was so nice, like really, really nice. Like I kind of, you know, we went there twice and I kind of felt at the end of the second time, I was like, oh, I feel like you're like my friend now. So yeah, I would absolutely, if you want pasta, I would like 1000% recommend that you go there. Don't bother with any of the other kind of touristy traps. Okay, so that rounds up all of the places that I would 100% recommend going to. But before you go, I just wanted to share a few places that I've heard are really, really great, but we just didn't have time to go to. And that if I return to New York, I will want to be checking them out. One is L'Industrie Pizza in Williamsburg. Apparently it's phenomenal, super cheesy deliciousness. Birrialandia in Queens. They apparently serve the most juicy birria tacos. You know those birria tacos that went super viral a couple of years ago? That is apparently where you want to get them. Next up, Levain Bakery for New York cookies. We did go to Chip City and they were really good, but I do feel like I've heard a lot about Levain Bakery. For bagels, Tompkins Square Bagels and Essa Bagels. That name kept popping up even when we were there, and we just didn't get round to going because we were in a different place or like the queue was really long. So that's the thing, they're very popular, so the queue will definitely be longer than the ones that I've suggested, but apparently they're really good, so definitely check them out. Magnolia Bakery for their banana pudding. Gotta do it. I didn't do it. We walked past Magnolia Bakery. The queue is super long, so I was just like meh, but apparently really good. And last but absolutely not least, Fu Zhao Weizhong. I really hope I pronounced that correctly, but I probably haven't. It's a dumpling place in the East Broadway Market, or mall, sorry. It's the place you might have seen it that's like underground, under the bridge, and you basically have to go through this like abandoned mall, and then apparently they serve the most incredible steamed buns. Really, really wanted to go to that place, but just didn't get around to it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, I'd be so, so grateful if you could like, comment, subscribe if you fancy. I've also got another video where I share everything that we ate in New York, like over 30 places, and it's a really fun video, so feel free to check that out as well if you'd like. Thanks for being here. If you want to hang out some more, you know what to do, and I will see you next time. Bye!